Now we're live.
Okay.
It's really good to see you, Wim, Marianne, Eliza.
Thank you.
How are all of you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Really good.
Oh,
Yeah, me
good.
too. Dutch weather, snow.
Yeah, it's funny. We're having our first snow of the year right now. It's just started snowing about 20 minutes ago. So
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
we started yesterday. Heavy snow yesterday.
Yeah,
Really? It's that time of the year. Snowy Thanksgiving is pretty normal upstate where I'm from originally. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I love that holiday, Thanksgiving. I think that's a wonderful holiday. And
it is. It's nice to be
I
grateful.
try to talk about it a little whenever, over here, but I would love for us to have that in Ireland. What is it? The last Thursday in November, is that right?
Yeah.
Something
like that.
Remember that last Thursday in November. So that would have been not yesterday, next Thursday.
No bad. If you click comments in the top right corner, you'll be able to see what people are typing.
Oh yes, I always forget
Good morning, Adriana.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Hi, Lori. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Kelly.
Yeah.
You see, if you click, there you go. If you click top right corner on comments, then you'll see.
It's wonderful. Hello, everybody. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, thank
yes. Many of you already know Eliza. I've had Eliza on the podcast a few times, and Eliza was very excited about me meeting Marianne and Wim. She said, "I've got these wonderful friends you must meet." And we had a great conversation the other day, and I couldn't wait to introduce them to the community. So yes, this is Marianne and Wim.
Yeah,
you guys are in the Netherlands, yes?
Yes. And
wonderful.
Yeah, just to live in a small house, and we enjoy ourselves, but we do a lot of traveling.
Yeah. So do you mind sharing a little bit about how you met Eliza?
Yeah, Eliza, I think you better tell.
Okay.
No.
We were looking.
I think 2011.
Yeah.
It was 2011. And I had been active on Facebook for about 2 years. And Wim sent me a friend request because I think he had an inspiration to invite sort of Native American people. And although I'm not Native American, Eliza White Buffalo sounds Native American. So he invited me. And as soon as I saw his face, Black Ox said to me, Black Ox, my guide, folks, he says to me, send Wim your first book, which I did. And I sent Wim the book. And at that time, Wim was channeling a painting from Leonardo da Vinci. And they hadn't got it finished because they didn't know who it was for. But Marianne was reading the book for the first. Isn't that right?
I told Wim, don't tell anything. I don't want to know anything. I want to read it by myself. Yeah.
Yes. And then you realized reading the book, I know who the painting's for. It's for Eliza.
Yeah, because
it's for Eliza.
The book,
my name's Rose.
Yes. And he was painting a rose.
And you were painting a rose. The painting's called Rose Beyond the Ice and the Fire. I'll send you the little pamphlet with the book. It's amazing. So, and then when you were writing your book at that time, your first book.
Yes, it was called The Fifth Day then.
It was called The Fifth Day, and it was about Wim's partner who's passed away now. It was about her journey and the connection between their souls and how she brought to Akaija, inspired Wim from the afterlife to create Akaija and that. And when I read the passage that Wim sent me from the book, I realized that I was Linda's soul. Linda was his ex-wife or his deceased wife. I realized that I was Linda's soul, therefore Black Ox was Linda's soul as well. So there was that connection. And then you
Wow.
came over here, wasn't that right? You came here.
Yeah, with
You came
paint
to Ireland with the
For your
painting.
for your
Uh-huh.
birthday.
And that was when I told you about the two roads symbol,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
is that symbol, folks. And I told him about that symbol, and that's one of the symbols that Wim had already been inspired to create alongside the Akaija. So Wim's project and my project were kind of going hand in hand. But there's been other synchronicities as well, hasn't there?
Lots of.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to find the painting Rose Beyond the Ice and the Fire. Maybe I can manage to upload it.
Okay.
One moment.
It's absolutely beautiful. I remember when I first saw it, and it's big.
Wow.
It's about
What happened to you?
it was about 1 meter tall or more. This big painting. And I looked at it, and it's like the painting of the aura healer that you have, Lara. Beautiful colors. The whole painting's airbrushed. And I looked at the painting, and something was happening to me, and I couldn't speak for a long time. And Black Elk said to me, now all the doors are open to you. So as a shaman now, I can go to whichever dimensions I wish to go to. And that has been the case since, when was it, 2011. But when you brought the two roads to me, that was something incredible too. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The universe and its divine plans, you know. Obviously, that was meant to be.
I think so, Lara. And Wim, I think you're the best one to tell everybody about how two roads came about, you know, and the Akaija, of course, as well.
Ken. And that was in 2004. Let's start. I'm inspired by my deceased love, Linda. Marianne is next to me. And Marianne is my love. But before I knew Marianne, I knew Linda, and Linda died in 2001. And before she died, we agreed to each other that she would inspire me. And that is what she was doing. And there's a lot of stories about that. But one of the stories is that she died in 2001. And in 2004, I was meditating on one of the paintings that I had made. And suddenly I had this strong feeling I need to make something with a cross and a bowl and something. And it got the name Faith, a painting Faith. Yeah, nearly.
A little bit high. Nearly. You're close. There you go.
There
you go. Yeah.
In fact, it was the two roads, but we called it Faith, and it was not a round, but it was oval. When you have a round dish that you're eating from exactly from the top scene, you see a round dish. But when you rotate it a little bit, you see an oval shape. And I made it in that shape. And inside there was a cross. And the cross, so I learned, is one perspective of a religion. So there are lots of religions all over the earth. They all have crosses in some way, one way or another. And this was kind of a cross, an essential of any cross. So it could be the Christian cross or the Malteser cross or the even the Indian medicine wheel. It has the same shape. But I didn't know about Eliza then. So I left it. I made it. I left it for a while and this is okay.
It's about 1 meter diameter. Yeah.
I can't upload it. I don't have the picture of that one. But it was an oval cross shaped, and in front of it, in the center, I had the feeling something is missing, and it had to be something red, a stone. And I suspended it on an invisible nylon thread and placed it there. And this red stone was kind of, well, it looked a bit funny, but I had the feeling it has to be there. And then we came to learn to know Eliza 6 years later. And Eliza was showing her book, and we made a painting rose, but she was also telling about the symbol that was so very important to her, the two roads symbol. And when we saw the symbol that she meant, I said, this is the same as that I made in 2004. So obviously we are both inspired from different directions, or maybe from the same soul, we don't know. But what is happening here, what is being shown to us? And that was kind of a riddle that we still don't know how to answer it exactly, but the story goes.
Wow.
And yeah, you were telling us about the two roads, and the two roads also is about not a religion, but it is about the connection with the spirit world.
Yeah, and it is faith. Faith was a good name for it. It's well, to me, it's more than religion. As you feel as well, Wim, it's more than religion. It's sort of a universal and a very, very ancient symbol as well. That's, the two roads is not the original version of it, but it looks like a medicine wheel, and it's been used in many religions way back in pagan times, way back at the very beginning, and it really is faith. That would be a good name for it, because for me it helps me to maintain the awareness, being centered in the awareness of the two roads, which is my spiritual self and my physical self. So it helps me to remain in the center and to have faith in myself, and and a higher thought, and in my higher self, and in black elk, and everything that I aspire to be. So for me, the two roads, well, it is me. I feel it is me. I feel it is black elk. That's everything that he's about. He even had that great vision about the two roads, and in which he saw the two roads. And if the two roads itself, the story is very long, but all you need to do is just go onto my website, and one of the second page is named "What is the Two Roads?" and you can read a lot about it there. But I'm very excited today to talk about the Akaija and what the Akaija can do for all of your wonderful friends here, Lara. The Akaija has changed my life.
Can we show them what it looks like? Yeah, you want me to switch over to the presentation for a moment? Yeah, so they can see.
I switched to the presentation. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong button. Hang on.
Yeah.
This one. That one. There we go.
Yeah. That's the double Akaija. Wim, is it? Yes.
Yeah, that is the double one. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know the slides by memory, but maybe I can look.
Show the necklace you also sent me this morning, which is really lovely. Thank you so much for this beautiful necklace that you sent me. So yes, this is a very powerful symbol, and I love the explanation that comes with the necklace. The little booklet that explains all about it. I mean, this is very detailed. I'm quite impressed, eh?
Yeah.
Lara, Wim's mind, I just don't know. His mind is beyond this world. He understands and can research information about things that I can't even begin to imagine. It's just incredible. And he sends me all this information, and I'm like, what?
I mean, it is a lot. I didn't get to read through it all because there's so much information in this manual.
Yeah.
And we talk about the power of symbolism. Very often, we hear about the power of symbolism, and yet you don't realize just how effective it can be for all kinds of different things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. I would agree with that, most definitely. Well, for me now, Akaija, I think Wim is going to go through a wee bit of the
coming into existence.
The presentation there, and how Akaija came into existence. But I just would like to say, first of all, to all you guys, if you're wondering now at the minute, well, what is Akaija? Well, because I'm a lay person as far as Akaija is concerned, I would say Akaija is a healing tool. It's an inversion tool. It regulates your nervous system. It keeps you centered, just like the two roads as well. Two roads actually is a symbol within Akaija.
That's something else what she's showing.
Yeah, but it's
I'm like, wow, you guys really, I love the vortex energy that it creates. It's very interesting.
Mhm.
Oh yes, yes. I mean, there's lots of scientific detail on Wim's site that he goes into to show you just what Akaija does. Well, to me, that just tells me that Wim knows what he's doing, you know. But for me, the evidence was in wearing the Akaija itself. I put it around my neck. I asked for physical progress, and my body healed, my legs healed. I've been wearing it for many years now. I'm currently wearing a very updated version of it with the Sacred Heart inside it. It's beautiful. I don't know if you can see it there.
No.
Yeah,
is that it? I can see it there. And I've been wearing that since Wim visited me in August. And my energy's through the roof. My happiness, my sense of being centered, my sense of being the higher self rather than ego driven. I feel so centered in my truth. It's incredible. Since August, since I started to wear this. So, but Akaija, you got to find out for yourselves, guys. You got to get on Wim's site. You've got to start reading about it. It's phenomenal.
Well, I was fascinated by this one part in it. It says when you add it to water and how it changes the structure of the water.
Yes.
Yeah, so you take an Akaija, preferably a new one or a cleansed one, and in your right hand, a glass of water. The information of the Akaija now gets imprinted on the water. So you do this for 3 minutes and then drink the water, and the spin inversion is now gone. We tested it, and it works. Interesting.
And then you have to explain what the spin inversion is.
Well, it also started with a stroke of lightning.
Yes, Linda was in 1968.
Yeah.
Her car.
86.
Yeah, 86. Was struck by lightning in the road next to her car. And then her energy system was overpowered. And when you encounter a very strong EMF field, within the atom, there is something happening. You have the nucleus and the electrons. The electrons spin around the nucleus. Great. Okay. And like the Earth, the electron has its own spin direction. Yes, the sun comes up in the east and sets in the west. That's also with an electron. But when there is a strong EMF field, the electron can topple. Yeah. And then the inversion is the other way. Then the sun comes up in the west and goes down in the east.
Yeah.
And that we call an electron spin inversion.
An earth spin inversion.
Earth spinning.
Yeah.
Okay. But then your aura, your
energy
field doesn't it isn't being energized from within. And you become very sensitive to all kinds of
impressions like sound and color. Also from other electromagnetic fields,
radiation, yes.
And sometimes even the presence of other people.
And Linda had a strong electron spin inversion. When I came in your place here,
Mhm.
It was in this room. I saw her, and she was already so sick. And I measured her, and she had a very strong spin inversion, and I could treat it, but her illness was already so far.
Mhm.
I couldn't. No, I couldn't cure it.
She had
No.
cancer. She had cancer.
She had
Yeah,
cancer.
yeah.
Yes, and then I had to let go, and that was very, very difficult. It was my first real patient. I was a therapist for not nearly a year, so it was strainful, and
Wow.
Wim was so tired, and yeah.
Yeah, because we did everything, Linda and I. We did everything outside hospital. So there's a long story behind it, but we
In the
didn't
book.
in the book. It's in the book, but we didn't follow the instructions of the hospital, and we were on our own. And that, some people will call that's the worst thing you can do, but in hindsight, I think it's the best thing we could have done. But the road to heal her, to work with her, that was very tough. And she died finally in December 2001. And you had treated her, for starters, also against the electron spin inversion. But because Linda and I had agreed that she would inspire me, and one of the first things that I made was a painting called Aura Healer. And on this painting, I think it's on the slides somewhere, and on this painting, there is a symbol, and this symbol was strange because I had made a painting without a symbol, and I had this very strong feeling that a symbol needed to be painted on it, but I didn't know what symbol it needed to be. And Nina was inspiring me, but I didn't realize that she already was, or I hoped she would do. But very suddenly I had this feeling there must be a symbol. And what symbol was my question? And then I had to think about something that I had thought a long time ago when I was very young. And there's these telephone wires, the wire that with the spiraling cord. And
Yes.
everyone who has an old telephone will know the cords are never like they were new. So there is kind of a knot inside. Oh yeah, there's the painting Aura Healer. And there's a
Yes.
symbol in the middle.
Beautiful.
And I had this feeling I had to do something with this cord, because in the middle of the cord often there is a knot, and before the knot, the rotation of the spiral is clockwise, and afterwards it is anti-clockwise. So, but what happens at the knot? What happens there? And I had tried to repair it as a child. Sometimes I succeeded and sometimes not. And I had to find out the solution. And this was the feeling: find it out for now and for every. For now, and I call it in English. I had to find the solution anyway. And then I came up with an iron wire. So when you buy iron wire, it is on a, how do you call it? It's rolled on something, and I could play with it. And I found a symbol that was the answer. I knew it was the answer at the moment I found it, and at the moment it was like I heard applause. It's very strange, but that was the feeling I had. And so I think this must be the right symbol. So I put it. I made a sketch, put it on it, applied gold leaf, and that was it. And I left it. I left it there. The painting was finished. I forgot about it, but I gave the painting to Marianne in a praxis.
Painting
Yes,
again.
and it was very beautiful. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, and I put it behind the chair of my patients, and almost all of them asked, "Do you have the heating on? It's so warm here." No, it's a painting. And we did some testing with another device, the Mora therapy. It's bioresonance. And it shows such improvement in energy levels that the therapist said, it isn't possible what I'm measuring, but I see it. So what was the matter with that painting?
And then, well, a few years later, your daughter came into your house, and she was doing an education show musical, like a bit like the American show musical educations. And she was doing this in Holland, and she had because it was physically very tough. And she was living in the heart of Amsterdam, and there was the electrical power lines of the tram.
For the tram.
She was living next to them. So this combination of physically being exhausted and then in a strong electromagnetic field is a bad combination. So she had this complaint, what Marianne calls electron spin inversion. And before she could do the normal treatment, she had to neutralize it first. And then she used a droplet of blood from her daughter.
And she didn't like the pig. She always said, no, I don't want to.
And I had seen that over the year. I'd seen it many times. But I had this feeling, does it do? Electron spin inversion is something like inversion of rotation. And the symbol that I have made is also inversion of spiral clockwise into anti-clockwise. So it's also inversion of rotation. And I thought, can we do an experiment? Instead of a droplet of blood, we put this symbol that I had made, the concept symbol. It looked very bad, so I restored it a little bit, and we put it in the circuit of the device. And Marianne said, well, it seems to work, because afterwards she couldn't measure the spin inversion anymore. And Lianne was already celebrating, because she said, I don't need a prick anymore. I don't need. So let's do it this way. And Marianne said, we need to do the droplet of blood. We still need to do it. But
she said, no way. I'm going back home. And but still, Wednesday, Thursday,
the next week,
she felt, okay, there's it coming. And after 3 weeks, she said, I have to take that symbol with me. Maybe it prevents. And you were.
I was doing already, but that's another story. I was making a ring for Linda, and to make this ring, I had to become a silver or a goldsmith. And so I was doing an education at someone's home. And then I thought, well, that is silver. I can work with silver now. So I was thinking, I need to create this symbol in silver. And so I did it. And the next week, Lianne came again to our home. And I took the silver symbol, and we did the same that we did before. Put it in the circuit, do the measuring or do the treatment. And afterwards, the spin inversion was gone. Marianne couldn't measure it. And Lianne took it home with her. And that was the last time that she came to our home for the spin inversion treatment. Because, there was one time she had a musical show a couple of years later, and she wasn't allowed to wear any jewelry. So she had to take it off, and in the evening she had the spin inversion again. But that was easily treated then.
Yes, but then we thought, okay, what does it do? What does it do? And I asked a lot of my colleagues, do you have patients with recurring spin inversions? Yeah, that one and that one and that one. And I said, make some more.
It was a busy week for me. I had to create all from scratch. But I made a couple of them, and we sent them to our colleagues, and she got the same results. So that was the moment that we thought, well, maybe we have something special here. I think we should sell it, put it on the market, at least for therapists, and maybe it can do for more people. And we started it, and we really started it because we got good results, the same results. So we had something, and we started advertising it.
Yes, but before that, we had a couple of Akaija. We didn't have the name yet. We had inversion symbols. And we send them all over the world to channels, to medium, to get a reading. What does it do? And then you can keep it, but what does it do? And we got from lots of them that they saw in the outer layers of the aura, there was more movement. And someone said, it brings you back to your original blueprint.
wow.
Yeah. And
Loes,
more,
a medium in Holland that we visited, Loes van Loon, and she said very strongly, what it does is it reawakens the colors of your aura. So it makes your energy field brighter again, stronger. And that is also what we discovered over the years when we saw quite a couple of them, quite a few thousands. And we learned that when your aura, your energy field is strong, you are much better protected against, for example, electromagnetic radiation. But we also needed a name for this symbol, and that was in the beginning in 2005. And Linda's mother was still alive, and she said, I will ask for a name for this symbol. And a few weeks later, I met her again, and then she said, I have got a name, but it was kind of strange what happened, because suddenly I heard a voice in my head shouting, really, really loud shouting, Akaija. And that was something so strange, but she said, well, yeah, Akaija, I don't know. Maybe you can use it. And then we started looking on the internet. Is this existing word? Is it the existing name? Is there a domain name even with akaija.com or whatever? And we discovered that the word Akaija is used on a tiny island in the South Pacific Ocean on the Republic Vanuatu. Also, that's about 1,000 kilometers north of New Zealand. And on this island, they have a lot of names for we. So in this setting, like we two, Marianne and I, are talking to you, it is a Jumro. But when you are not there and we are the only people in our home, then it is Akajo. That is her name word. For we two together, we are talking to each other. Or we two are talking to you. That is a Jumro. And they have the same for 3 people. So 3 people can talk together. But they can also say 4 or more people. 4 people, more than 4 people, but there are still others, so all the people of Holland, but there is still the rest of the world, and then there is a limitation to the number. But when you take everyone, then it is called Akaija. Akaija, they say we write it down as Akaija, and we say Akaija in Dutch, but the English might pronounce it differently. And on the island itself, they say Akaija. And this was very interesting because I thought, oh, we all, this is great.
Yeah.
And we got a message from a numerologist. Do I say it yet? Someone who works with numbers.
Numerologist.
Yeah, numerologist. Okay.
And that means A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, etc. And she said, you have a wonderful combination of characters. She said, A is 1. Well, that is obvious. Then the K is the 11th number. And so this is a master number, like 22, 33, 44. And you leave it as is. So you have 2 ones. And then there's another R, so that's 4 ones. And then there is a little bit strange that can only be done in the Dutch language, because we used to have the 25th character of our alphabet, and that is I. Zoals wij to say I. And in English, it was the epsilon or the Y. I don't know the word.
Epsilon, think ik, yeah.
But in Dutch, it was 1. And nowadays, we write it as IG. G,
John.
I-E.
I from Isaac, G for John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, in fact, it was in Dutch, it was 1 character. And this is 9 and 10. And when you summarize them, you come to 19. 19 exists of 1 and 9. that is 10, and 10 exists of 1 and 0. So there is another 1, and there is a 1 for the last A, so there are 6 ones. And the message didn't pop in my mind right away, because there was kind of a riddle here. Akaija means we all, and Akaija means 1. 6 ones.
We are one.
Yeah. And
We
that was,
all are one.
and I have spoken about that during Linda's funeral, about being 1.
I was there.
So Linda got her message to me and kind of proved to me, I inspire you, and this is what I want you to make. And this is kind of how the Akaija project started. And what it does is that it can protect people against electron spin inversions. And when there was one person who was suffering from an electron spin inversion by the lightning, that was Linda.
Yeah, like vertigo. Yeah.
And it's kind of so special that she, after dying, she gives something to humanity, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
And also the message from we are one.
Yes.
That's so important in this time.
Yes.
I'm going to share a picture of Linda. There's Linda in the photo of the
Yeah,
book. Yes. Thank you. Lovely lady. And this is a beautiful book that you sent me. I just want to say thank you as well. Lady of the Rings is the book. So if you guys are interested in reading more about the story, this is a beautiful book. I love the art that you have for it. This is lovely. And I'm noticing.
I must tell you a story as well about Linda. So when Linda passed over, I'm the same soul as Linda. We share soul energy. And when Linda passed into the spirit world, and she found Black Elk, being he was a higher aspect of her soul, and she came across that energy of Black Elk, the spirit of Black Elk, and she wanted to help with Black Elk's project, the Two Roads, which is why, of course, she inspired women to make faith in the first place, which then became the Two Roads symbol. But I was working very much alone in those days. It was maybe 2003 by this time. I was sitting in my garden. I've got a little prayer garden there, and it was the springtime, and all the little fledglings were starting to fly the nest. And I was wearing a brown cardigan and a brown skirt, and my hair was brown. And I was sitting on a bench, and this little bird flew. Over my head. 2 little fledglings came after it. And I looked around and I saw one go with the mother, but I couldn't see the other one. And it was just sitting right there on my breast. Mm-hmm. And I put my finger there, and it sat on my finger and sat there for quite a while before it flew away. And then it was Black Elk told me that had been Linda, that Linda had come into the body of a little bird because she wanted to lift my spirits. She could feel my energy. She could feel the sadness I was feeling back then. And she wanted to lift my spirits, and she wanted to tell me that everything was going to be all right, and that she was working to help me as well. And it was just an incredible, the synchronicities between myself and Linda are incredible. In a previous lifetime, I too was struck by lightning, and have even got a painting that was done by a psychic artist of that woman that was struck by lightning. He could see her, and he painted her, and he sent her to me, and it was amazing. But yeah, Linda ever since has been a very, very prominent figure of spirit in my spirit team that I work with. I call them the Two Roads Spirit Team. Linda's there. Very powerful soul. Well, of course, yeah.
He was powerful as a human.
I suppose I'm part of that as well. Black Elk, yeah. Well, we've got a project. We have I suppose, Black Elk's work that was following on into this lifetime because of his great vision and the two roads that he saw in his vision and what that meant, and that story of ascension that was told to him, and the story of the prophecy of world harmony and oneness, unity that is happening now, that was told to him as well. So I'm and Black Elk are still very much engrossed in that project, but Linda now is too. So Linda was the bridge between the Akaija and the two roads, or between Wim and me, Eliza. And the way that it all mapped out is just incredible, absolutely incredible. And I think in my third book, I talk a bit about Wim and the Akaija and Linda and the two roads and what was happening at that time. So I talk about that in my third book. Yeah, and then the fourth book is pretty much about the vision and what it meant and stuff like that. But it's been an incredible journey, hasn't it, Wim and Marianne?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fascinating journey. And there's more to come. There's more to come.
Oh, beautiful. I would just like to read some of the comments, and then people can ask some questions if they'd like. So we did actually have a couple of people that already have Akaijas.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw Trish there. Trish McMahon. I saw her. I saw your comment.
That symbol makes me feel at home, which is really lovely to hear. Steph says, is there a video of it moving? I can see the ring spinning while staying connected. It looks like it's breathing, which is really interesting. Trish said, I've been wearing my Akaija for years now, and I love it. And Trish also said, I moved near a mass emitting fine gene really helps to protect me from the electromagnetics.
That's right.
Love it. And she also wears her two road symbol with her Akaija every day for years now. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Trish. Trish also says, a friend of mine wears a healing opal, and he wears his Akaija with it and amplifies the energy of the rainbow matrix opal.
Wow.
So the Akaija, if you wear it with a crystal, it will amplify the energy of the crystal then. Yes? Interesting.
Very good. Very good. Well, I guess that's a bit like if you were wearing a crystal on your body, your energy field itself will amplify the frequency of the crystal.
Yes.
Similar.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because to me, the Akaija is it entrains you or aligns you with your highest energy field. Well, someone said your blueprint. I would absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
Black Elk always told me that the Akaija aligned you with with your cosmic body. That's the way that he always talked about it.
Steph in the comments says, my guides are saying that it represents the toroidal field in the 7th dimension.
I read that comment, yes, and I tried to agree to it, but I couldn't figure out how to join the chat.
There is a connection with the toroidal field, indeed. I know about it, and I use it a lot. But it's only after I made the Akaija that I started learning about it. I think this is something vortex related.
Yes,
but it's technical.
Yes.
But what we discovered,
for example, with orgonite and things, we're always using things to create a toroidal field. We use like triskelions, for example, and then all the spirals that to keep the flow of energy moving. And I could see it would create a continuous loop of energy that oscillates things higher as it's surging.
Yes, yes, that's what it does.
It's convenient when you can see it. We don't.
The medium in Holland that has helped us a lot with Linda and also with the Akaija understanding. She described the Akaija at the first time that she says the Akaija, when you move it over your body, it creates tiny vortexes all over your body. And it's kind of connecting an energy to your body. And she said it places like a dot on your skin, and the energy goes in. That is how she saw it happening. Okay. And she was trying to describe it, but I couldn't see it myself, so it's a bit hard to relay her words. But
yeah, it's like it was connecting her physical body with her toroidal field. Yeah, so I could just imagine in my mind's eye there, I could just imagine this vortex that is the Akaija being sucked into her energy field, like through a hole.
I love that it's a 3D symbol as well, because most of the symbols we use, they're flat, you know what I mean? And they may create a whole lot of energy, but in a different idea than you're expecting. But this actually gives you a good representation of how you can see the energy moving.
You see you see the pentagram on the image on the slide.
Yes.
And it is a double Akaija, so that is a normal Akaija combined with its mirror image. And then you get the double Akaija, and you see the pentagram very clearly.
Yes.
And I think the Akaija, the Akaija Ilua, we call this one, is the three-dimensional, the true three-dimensional shape of the pentagram. And you see a lot of pentagrams all over the world in paintings, and often it is considered a bad symbol, and others say no, it's only a bad symbol when you use it wrong. But you often see that the lines are crossing in front of each other. And here you see that, well, it's not exactly from the front, but it is a perfect pentagram when you see it precisely from the front side. And then there are rings. Oh yeah, here you see it.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love that.
But I can keep it.
What's that there?
I love that. I want a big one like that.
I need to kind of mirror my
Oh,
here you
that's
see
cool.
then it's a pentagram, but you also see the rings. So one is going in front, and then you go to down. Then you go behind the ring, and then you from there you go to the top. Then it's in front again, and then you go down on the other ring. It's down again. So you follow the lines, and you are in the motion of the pentagram.
Reminds me of this guy, but less.
Oh,
the Merkaba.
The Merkaba,
yeah. It reminds me of a Merkaba. And that's funny, when I do clearings on people, my soul guides say that the pentagram is one of the most powerful symbols you can use for protection, for healing, for many different things. That's one of the reasons why it was demonized so heavily by the church. They don't want you using powerful symbols.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
Yes. So you have a symbol. That's amazing. I love it. I love the big representation of it as well. You can see how the energy flows very well through that.
Laura, I was telling you about the biggest Akaija that Wim created, which is about 2 meters tall and wide. Yeah. And he made it in different parts, tubular steel. And Wim and Marianne and I and another friend called Stefanida from Holland. And we went to Russia with this Akaija. And we went from Russia to Siberia, Far East to Siberia, with the Akaija with us. And we were part of a Russian festival that happens on the 21st of June every year, on the solstice every year, on a mountain called the Mount Shaman, Shaman's Mountain. Is it Shaman's Mountain you called it?
Yeah,
in a place called Akaija. And anyway, we erected the big Akaija after about 20 minutes of struggle trying to get it erected.
That was 3/4 of an hour of struggle.
But it was erected, and people were taking photographs. There was a lot of energy. There was maybe a few hundred people there, and everyone was taking photographs. And in all of the photographs that you see, it's like snow. The amount of orbs that were around us. It's just like snow.
You got a newsletter from us. Eliza, you also. There are pictures in it.
That's right. That's right.
So you can look for it.
Maybe. Yeah, they sent out a newsletter today.
Got
it. Great. Because one of those pictures is just incredible.
Yes. There are 3 pictures.
Well, maybe I could show my presentation. How do I do this? Present. Share screen. Oh, here we go. Bam. I got it. Did it work?
Yeah.
on my
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is
The
working.
first-
Make that bigger.
It's very small, but the first you see me on the airport in Germany going to Georgia, and the second we just created the Akaija, and Eliza is in the center. We were activating the Akaija, and then on the third we were walking.
It looks like
Yeah,
snow.
yes, we
It
were
does
walking
look
the
like
Akaija
snow.
downhill.
And there are all orbs.
Yeah, in the middle picture there are also orbs, only a few,
Yeah.
but they are there.
I love the giant Akaija. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No
It was so exciting. It was really so exciting. We were, away in Siberia, and no one spoke English. The food was inedible, and
Oh,
Yeah,
I
there's
love that.
another. There
was
is a
just
picture that connects
crazy,
the
crazy
Akaija to the
time.
entire world.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So you
that's-
create like a
for-
linking system along the grid
That's
lines.
maybe for the next time.
Wow.
Yeah,
You guys
that's a
are
whole
really
other story.
amazing.
In short, the island where the word Akaija originates from is exactly in between Easter Island and the temple complex Angkor Wat. And it's also on the same line like the Great Pyramid. So this is a line around the Earth, and that is called the tilted equator of the antique. That is something ancient, and we visited those points, but that is a long story to explain
like-
it all.
Fascinating. Thank you for having this in your newsletter. If some people want to get on your newsletter, what's the best way to do so?
You already are.
Oh, I'm talking about for
Oh,
other people. I'm on, but what about others? They want to be on too.
Go to our website, look for our email,
Send an email.
send an email, and we
Okay.
put it on the.
Wonderful.
Hey, that's so
Thank
much
you.
easy.
if you want to get onto my newsletter as
Yeah.
well, just send me a messenger or an email to Eliza White Buffalo number 12 at
There's the link.
gmail.com
guys
or
want to
my
get your
Facebook
Akaija?
messenger.
hmm
Wonderful.
Uh,
Thank you. We had a couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer says, okay, I have EMF spin inversion. There's absolutely no way I don't. I haven't been able to leave the house alone or walk into grocery stores in years because I get so dizzy and my equilibrium gets so off kilter.
Then comes where you started with the Akaija in your left hand and the glass of water in your right hand. When you do that, after 3 minutes, you drink the water and the spin inversion is gone. Some distributors in Austria
discovered it.
She has also an connection to spirit, and they told her, because I was a biophoton therapist, and there are not so many in Europe. So what can you do? We sell them, but if there is someone with a spin inversion, what can we do? And she asked spirit, and she got this method. Yeah, and it works. And I thought, yeah.
I wonder if you were to hang like one of the big ones in the shower and have the water hitting the Akaija before it lands on you. If it would do anything. Okay, good idea, Chantal. Love that idea. Yes.
Because we have also a
single one.
A single one. A big one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the small one that you
put that in your room.
Yeah, a small one.
I like them both. I'm drawn to both of them.
We also.
But it
Black Elk always said, about the spin inversion. He always said, as long as your electrons are spinning from left to right, the way the sun comes around the earth, or the earth comes around the sun, well, the path of the sun during the day.
Then there's harmony.
That is a life promoting manner. And when it spins from right to left, it is, from right to left, it is, the body then starts to get ill. The body starts to break down and die. So that's whenever the body produces serious illnesses, such as chronic fatigue and ME and fibromyalgia and stuff like that there. Now,
I love
photon
that
light
you're explaining
therapy.
this too, because my guides have been answering this question. Because I, whenever we do a psychic surgery on people, we do a scan of the body, right? And the guides often talk about how the equilibrium is completely off, and they have to
Yeah.
rebalance the whole body from
Yeah.
right to left, left to right, top to bottom, top
Yeah.
bottom to top. And they keep like they explain like about the art. I mean, I'm blown away.
Yeah.
This is exactly what the guides were talking about.
Yeah, it's the same with photon
What
light
they were talking
therapy.
about until now.
And I'm so grateful to the guy who invents my my device I was working with. It
Yeah.
collapsed,
Well,
unfortunately.
because without that, you may not have discovered the benefit of Akaija.
Mm.
I think there are a lot more to discover.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same with photon light therapy. Part of the stage 4 or stage 3 in photon light therapy talks about the electrons and brings in new electrons, and that's which is energy, and make sure that they're spinning in a life promoting manner. So there's kind of that same idea of your work, Lara, and the Akaija is happening within photon light therapy.
Yes.
But for Akaija to have the symbol to wear around your neck, to put it on every day, and then you can forget about being sick, you can forget about having to run to healers or whatever, because this is keeping you in equilibrium.
Yeah,
And
we
then
have
I must admit, I'm
positive
looking at your
spin.
website right now. I'm already browsing through your
we
shop
have one,
here on your website.
we
You
have
got all
an
kinds of cool
example.
stuff on here.
It's a lot,
There's an
isn't
example
it?
that they can tell about what the Akaija can do because it balances. And sometimes people get energy by wearing an Akaija, but there are a few cases that people
Yeah.
get an Akaija and they said, I get so tired of this thing, it is not good. The Akaija can't be good. And when that was in the beginning, so the first time that we heard it, we thought, well, maybe she is right. I don't know. We couldn't tell. But then we found out this woman who was telling it, she was telling about her life, and she was doing so many things on a day, extremely. She had children, she had a husband who was ill, and she had a job from 8 to 5, and she was doing it, and she never spent a day at home. She always was there, and she said, I hated to stay home. And then she was wearing the Akaija, and in the morning she overslept, so she was too late. During the day, her eyes fell shut. One day she couldn't go because she was so tired, and then but she said, I've had it with this stool, I don't want it anymore, so she put it away. And then a few months later we learned that she had a burnout.
Very severe
Uh-huh.
burnout.
And this is
So it was trying to slow her down.
so balancing can mean when you are overdoing yourself, you're not taking time for yourself. The Akaija will tell you somehow, and people who get tired from the Akaija better listen and better take time for yourself.
Yeah.
I think I crashed your website. I don't know how, but
I will repair it, no
I
worries.
clicked the link and now it says resource limit is reached and it won't load the web page. Oops. Everybody's getting their Akaias now.
I remember, Laura, whenever I met you first, Laura, and we did a web or a podcast, that happened to my website too.
Sorry about that.
Marianne is checking, but I think it will be okay.
I'm totally gonna get the earrings, by the way. I see the Akaija earrings you have, and I want those now. I'm gonna order one today. Thank you. I really appreciate the present. I love the present, but I'm gonna get more.
Yeah, but also for the people in the United States, we have a friend who started wearing the Akaija, and she was very affected by electromagnetic radiation. And this is Debbie Persenpire, and she lives on Long Island near New York. And she is selling Akaijas within the USA. So that might, I don't think she has many of them, but that might be an idea.
For American people.
Yeah. We will send the details to you.
And then I'm selling them in Ireland and the UK as well. So
I like you've got healing tools on here too. Like you've got all kinds of goodies on this website. I'm gonna have to bring you guys back to talk more about these goodies you get. I mean, I like these healing tools. They look really cool as well that you got.
Linda, did
Fascinating.
not just inspire the Akaija, there's more.
I love it. I love it. We'll totally have you guys back. And you know what's funny? Well, I'll bet you a bunch of people will have their Akaijas by then, and we could talk about some of the results that people are feeling with their Akaijas when they're wearing them. So that'll be really great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's already been an hour. This hour went so quick. I love hanging out with you guys. That was really fun. Thank you.
Yeah,
And thank you so much for apologizing already for crashing your
Eliza.
website. Hopefully,
Yeah,
if you guys
thank you.
can't get onto the website, I'm sorry. Yeah, we did. We crashed the website. So if you guys
No,
wait a little while,
no, really. I can't get in.
I told you, yeah.
I will
I
check
could
it.
get in really quick until I shared the link and then it stopped. So we overwhelmed the website. My apologies. So try back later, you guys, and they'll after they get a hold of their tech guy to fix what we broke.
Yeah, that happens to mine all the time when everybody rushes all at once, and then after an hour, it's fine.
So try
again.
back later today. Don't forget to get one, and we can talk about it. And I'm gonna wear my Akaija earrings next time. I'll get a pair of those. They look beautiful. Thank you.
Yes,
Love it.
Okay.
Great.
Very cool. I love
Bye-bye.
you all. Thank you so much. I hope you all have the most wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday. Thank you very much, Marianne. Thank you very much, Wim and Eliza. It was wonderful to see you all.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
too.
you.
Much love,
Bye.
everyone. See you soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye.